Hey guys, welcome to another video here at the Roll Investor. But everyone's had a pretty good start to the year, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about grain marketing. Specifically, we're going to be, talking about the seasonality of corn price. Overall, it's, one of the biggest crops here grown in the U.S. Many reasons, ethanol production, biofuels. You got feed demand, food products, obviously, current corn syrup and such sort. The biggest thing, corn is, every commodity is derived from supply and demand efforts, which, is a result of weather conditions. Another thing that's been big is, governmental policies. I don't know if that's more seasonal, but I would say it come down to, the underlying commodity being seasonal. I'd say some of the government policies can force it to be seasonal as well. I guess why is this? Why do they tend to receive highs in the May? As you can see here, once we get past the new year, a little bit past February, you kind of get seasonal rally. Anyways, looks like May, early June is a good time to begin selling corn, and hopefully this video helps explain why. And it's not every time it's highest in May or June, but seasonally it does point to that. And anyone thinking about selling new crop here, it's still could be very profitable to sell in January and February, but I'm just trying to explain why seasonal as it is. I guess the main reason, spring season, these guys, in the south get their planters rolling. I don't know, March. A lot of guys get to planting corn in April, May in my area in the Midwest. They're planting. You're planting corn. A heavy corn. And this increases the demand for seed. Seed corn. It increases the demand for seed corn. A lot of it, guys aren't thinking about pricing corn either. Not much pressure on the market. So, it kind of has to reach out and get that corn, it seems like. It's just kind of a seasonal, giddy up, as you will. Biggest thing, weather conditions. Obviously too much rain, not enough rain. Too much rain can cause delays. That can be bullish. Not enough rain. It's a driver of volatility is a big thing, I think. The weather side. And, usually there's demand to put a support behind, an average year, but if we do get a scare, it just seems like the upside's always better, risk reward wise in this situation. I guess another thing to point out I haven't really thought about until the past year as I've studied commodities, studied flat price markets. Livestock feed's usually at the highest in the spring. Many farmers are preparing for calving, preparing for lambing season as well. There's a little bit of that around here. Requires more feed for animals. It's that simple. Volume. It's a volume trade. And seasonally, even on the livestock markets helps the corn market. So. And, as obviously there's limited supply as well. You get to press up basis levels to reach out, transport the corn from on-farm storage, grain bins. It costs money, and not every farmer is going to be willing to move their grain, at that price. So it might take some upward movement. It might take a rally to get that to move at a reasonable, level. So that's a big part, As we talked about government policies, I don't know how much of it is. There's always trades, tariffs, it seems to happen, it usually doesn't happen in the middle of fall, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it can really limit the supply of corn from other countries, and it can go the other way too. A big tariff, stopping exports. It could go the other way too, but I don't know if that goes into seasonal or not, but it's a good thing to think about if there is some tension. So just in conclusion, the biggest thing I think is the seasonality. The weather is a huge part to look at. Long-term weather trends is huge. What type of demand, domestic demand, feed, and what the cattle system's looking like too. You could be, just a strict grain row cropper, but studying those markets, what calving numbers are looking like can really help sniff out a domestic rally. We're not even talking about just futures. We get to be talking about basis levels. Feeders reaching out trying to buy a bulk amount of corn and struggling to do that, and they can pay crazy values relative to the future. So in general, that's just my suggestions to expand and be broader on your market research. So I myself, I know I've kind of talked about my position in the corn market and really my whole marketing strategy here lately. I am 0% sold on corn, soybeans, and wheat. They're all profitable levels here, but it's my first year farming. I want to gain a better outlook. If we do get a rally in April, May, I'll definitely look at forward contracting. Something to think about. I would be more apt to sell or think about marketing decisions. Further with. I don't have any physical assets to store my crops, so out of the field, it's moving to the grain elevator or the grain. Not necessarily the elevator, maybe a processor. Whoever has the most attractive bid. So, but that's just word for thought, or food for thought. I can't talk today, but other than that, feel free to leave a comment, and I'd be really appreciated if you get any subscribers. I know it's a small channel, but if you like my work, feel free to reach out. Thank you.